30, 97 seconds. We're here.
Baes Boyz Podcast.
Doing things.
We're back in the studio. It's Sunday.
Listen, Butters, you asked for it, and I went after Joe Skelly for it, and Joe Skelly delivered. He delivered you a guest. I'm not just sure if it's the guest you wanted, but it's the guest we have today. Go ahead and introduce our guests.
Today we have Johnny with us.
Johnny Speed.
No, I don't know about Johnny Speed.
He looks like Speed. He looks speedy. Are you Speedy?
I am probably quite the opposite of Speedy.
He's the opposite of Speedy, not Johnny Speed. Well, Johnny's in the house. Johnny, how are you today?
I'm doing fantastic today. Just
hanging out in the studio.
Yeah, hanging out with these miscreants.
Right off the rip, are you planning on beating out Tommy Skelly in the ratings? Like, is that did you come in with that in your brain?
Not a thing I thought of, but now that it's brought to my attention, why not?
Oh,
there it is.
There it is. The gauntlet's been tossed.
We're gonna have to get all the input. So if you're a fan of Tommy Skelly or a fan of Johnny, write us and let us know.
But they don't even know Johnny yet. So
Not yet, but we're pre-setting them up.
They will.
We like to set our people up for success. It's important to us. You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
Right.
So you gotta break down. Johnny is with a local band,
A famous local band.
Called Tight Wind.
Tight Wind.
Wind.
Before
Tight Wind.
Yes.
Tight Wind. I'm sorry, I fucked that up. See, there I go. You can't take me nowhere.
This explains why people did not understand my references. But it's okay.
It's okay. He's here to fix us.
Listen, call Kenobi and tell him to send those fucking shirts back that we had made. They are spelled wrong. Okay? Just text him before he shows up to the studio with the wrong stuff.
Right.
It's the same guy that was making merchandise for the narcoleptics back in the day. Cleveland punk rock.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh,
This sounds like a story. Spill it.
All right, so I mean, back this they made this merch after I joined the band, or before I joined the band. I'm going through the merch bin at a show, pulling shirts out for people, and on the back of it, like their tagline forever was just Cleveland punk rock.
Not bad.
And I'm looking at the back of the shirt, and it's got our logo and Cleveland punk rock.
Oh.
And I look at our bass player who designed all of our merchandise, and I'm like, hey, Sasquatch. Anybody ever tell you how to spell the word Cleveland, the city you are from?
That we're representing?
Before you spent hundreds of dollars printing T-shirts with it?
Oh, my.
So for years, we had T-shirts that labeled us Cleveland punk rock.
You know what? I wish I had one.
That's a secret story thing.
Yeah, that is a secret
You will
story.
never hear this story anywhere else.
Except for
And
here.
only the deep Cleveland people will know about it. Cleveland people. Like
check your local
Klingons.
thrift store. I'm sure one will pop up.
Yeah,
There you
check
go.
your local thrift store. If you find one, it's gold. Hold on to it. Even if it's a
Listen.
kid-size shirt, just cut the
on.
design off the back and sew it to a jacket.
You guys, we could go on and on about the thrift store thing. What is with that?
What do you mean? What's with the thrift store?
What's with it?
That's the most amazing place to shop.
Why?
That's where you find all your family reunion T-shirts
Listen,
that
let
you
me
don't
ask
belong
you-
to, and you just wear them.
Here we go.
And when people ask you who you are, you'd be like, "I'm
This
Uncle
is why
Biff."
people throw pies at us and climb mountains to tell us that murder's a personal subject. You see? Because you're wearing their family shirts.
Well, I would never wear that family's T-shirt.
my
So
question-
Johnny doesn't know. So let's fill him in. We decided to go find the Hatfield Cemetery in West Virginia,
Yep.
and we went there.
Did you piss off a McCoy?
No, a Hatfield member came up to the cemetery while we were there, and he was an interesting fellow. That is for sure.
Yeah.
And he was the one that told us, you could rob a bank, you could do this, you could do that, and go to jail. But murder is a personal problem.
Right. Right. Don't rob banks, but if you snuffing, just drop them.
Right.
Anyways, we stay away from that guy. My point was, well, I lost my point, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Listen, while you're on with Sasquatch, though, do you believe in Sasquatch? We need to put that right out there.
Yeah. That's an important question.
It's true.
I mean, I know our buddy over here has his thoughts.
Ooh, go ahead, say it. Listen,
No, break it down.
we want nothing but the truth here. There's no AI shenanigans.
I don't know how I feel about the Sasquatch.
He doesn't know how he feels.
I mean, you got to think at this point in time, somebody would have had to have brought one to light.
Like, you want a body.
I want a body.
Okay, how many bear skeletons have you found in the woods?
How many bears have you seen?
How many Sasquatches have been seen?
The amount of bears seen versus Sasquatch. Like, okay, you don't see a bear skeleton in the woods, but I've seen thousands of bears in motion.
This is so good already. I'm so excited. I can just listen to this
Like,
all day.
at some point, somebody would have had to shoot the damn thing and drag it out of the woods and say, "Hey, fuckers, here's my Sasquatch. Look, they do exist."
That's true. That's true.
Or shit, one of them had to have been wandering alongside the road, all rabies-ridden,
Got hit by a truck?
right?
He got herpes and went crazy.
I mean, just dumb luck at some point. One of them had to have wandered out into public.
That would be the greatest.
What if the government's covering this all up? What if they use Bigfoot as an ally?
He's just a secret hitman.
Yes. Bigfoot's a secret weapon for the U.S. government.
I mean, if we're talking about drawing attention, it's working. They did try to sprinkle him in recently. Oh, we can't go that way. We recently saw a Bigfoot appear on a video when big things were happening in the world. That's all we can say about that. But the video did appear. But me and Tommy Skelly talked about this morning. And I was like, my man looked like he stepped out the shower. He was like, I think the train is coming. I'm going to go clean my Bigfoot hair and then run up the way.
Listen, I already told you, Bigfoot doesn't come out because he's self-conscious about the way he smells, right? The way to solve this problem is you leave some snacks and a bottle of pert somewhere out in the fucking woods, let my man shower up, and maybe he'll be more social.
So you're saying there's one Bigfoot,
No, I'm saying there's a lot of them.
and they all have the same complex.
They all have the same complex.
Well,
That's convenient.
It's just, look, in Ohio, it's called the Grass Man, and they said he stinks really bad. Just saying.
this is all new to me. I want to put that out there. Everybody knows that. If you've ever listened to the show, and if you haven't, well, you know what? Your life's better now. So I can't help you with the past. I can only do now what we can do
all right.
now.
But how about the fact that somebody you're familiar with, Tom DeLonge, is an avid Bigfoot hunter and UFOologist?
And how many has he captured?
Maybe he doesn't want to catch him. I'm just saying.
Mr. The truth is out there.
How much money did my man spend on all of this?
All of it. He
All of it.
literally
That's why he
said-
had to go back to Blink 182.
Yeah,
he spent all his Blink money. It's gone.
That is weird, by the way. I didn't even think about that until you just mentioned it. I'm late in the fold, though, so I didn't know he was a crazy crazy Sasquatch chaser until...
I didn't know anything about Sasquatch till right now. I knew he was an alien guy.
He was the one that told me.
Oh, dude, he loves it.
Yeah.
Of course he does.
What's his name, drummer? It's Tom, and what's the drummer's name?
Travis?
Yeah. Barker was like, he talked about how Tom, like, every stop will be like, guys, we have to get out and find him this time, and we're going to find him. And we'll lead parties, like hook up with fans and crazy stuff and get people off the bus to bro, like growing up the whole time and coming from a culture where skaters are the cool guys, and then having this dude, knowing this dude the whole time growing up was chasing Bigfoot, blows my effing mind. Because every kid I met that was a douche wearing a Blink shirt, I would have been like, hey, homie, why don't you go hunt Bigfoot? You need to go. Like, go away, go hunt Bigfoot. Where are you going to hunt Bigfoot in Orange County? You're not, right? Unless you go to Big Bear.
Maybe that's why he's so fascinated with Bigfoot.
Because he was in Orange. Are they from Orange County?
I don't know where they
okay.
from.
No, I don't
Blink.
Oh, somewhere in California.
knows?
It doesn't really matter.
Long Beach.
know. Who cares? Blink, if you're listening, write the show. Let us know when you were or where you were started. Things like that. Shout out to all of those
See,
guys.
they grew up watching Gleaming the Cube.
Oh, they definitely did. They definitely did. You know that one?
And Silver Streak.
Yeah.
Gleaming. Yeah, that's...
And all those. What was the one with Christian Slater? That was Gleaming the Cube, wasn't it? Yeah.
Isn't it that one?
Yeah,
the one?
yeah.
Oh, we're on this. I was just about to say it's Joe Skelly's favorite, but now I'm not sure because he just asked that question.
Oh,
so
God.
It's a good thing I didn't say anything. He didn't ride his skateboard today, thank goodness. Him and
I stopped riding the skateboard when I broke my arm, okay? That's when my career ended.
Ponyboy is somewhere right now looking for our whale throw up, shaking his head.
Yeah, Ponyboy is
He's
out
like,
in the woods.
dude, or he's like,
He sent me a sat phone message today.
would he say something like he never started? Do you think he'd say that about your skateboarding career?
No, I don't think he would.
Oh, okay. I was just checking. Like a welfare
don't-
check on your skateboarding
Johnny's
career.
like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? You lost me here.
It's okay. How good are you at ollieing, Johnny?
I haven't attempted an ollie in 25 years.
Have you landed one?
Yeah.
Oh, you're way better than me then.
Yeah,
Are you any good at ollieing?
I could ollie.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
Apparently, we're all better than
Yes.
our homeboy.
Yes. California surfer can ollie.
No. Well, yeah, I'm not talking about you.
Oh, you think you're better than Ponyboy?
No, I'm not talking about Ponyboy. I'm talking about our boy who broke himself up.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Kenobi. Still sitting on the bed. I'm sorry, bro.
One of our homies decided he was going to drop in and broke his ankle.
We did not. We had not been on the floor with him in that community, so we did not know that he was still officially participating. I thought Mans was like spectating on his kids and watching the kids bike and do this stuff. And so when he broke his leg, I'm like, homie, were you pumping up the track on the dirt jumps? And he goes, no, of course not. And I was like, oh, thank God. And he goes, I was dropping into a half pipe. And I'm like, what? Dude, you're my size. There's no way that can be right. That's not. All of our weight is upper area. We can't do that anymore, bro.
Yeah.
No balance.
No, there's
balance.
some science there.
There is some
A
science.
little bit. Again, back to that 9th grade science. I'm like, homie, we have too much muscle for those little feet we got going on. I don't think that's how that works.
Get off the board, Big Bird.
Yeah, right.
Get up. Should we? Kenobi the Big Bird.
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
That's
there it
so
goes.
good.
There it
That's
goes.
so good. But you can ollie, so you win.
Yeah.
And you can ollie.
Yes, I
I
haven't
feel
ollied.
like I need to learn how to ollie.
I
now.
haven't. Dude, you got a flatland bike out in the living room. You still got to work on.
Yeah, that's true. We don't have time for ollies. We're too busy trying to do cyclones and things.
So now that we got this band musician on,
Yeah, let's circle back to the band.
Let's circle back to the band.
Tight wind.
No, tight wind.
Listen, you've been telling our listeners for 6 months that they're tight wind. We can't change it
Dude,
now.
that's fucked up because
Well, listen, here's what we do. It's both the names, okay?
No, it's not.
They moonlight.
Listen, he's gonna be pissed if you don't say it right. Hey, you bring this guy on the show and you fuck up the name of the band.
I'm pretty sure we got it on recording. I'm just going with the motion.
Okay.
Everybody here knows that I have to follow whatever direction we're headed.
So, how many bands, Johnny, have you been in locally? There's been a couple good ones, right?
See, I mean, I've been over 20 years. Who knows? Probably, but yeah, like 8 or 9.
Hit them with a list.
Let's see. Tight Wine now. Say I played a couple years in a just bar cover band, but Hardway Saints, The Facials, Beat Kids, Stop Clocks, the Narcoleptics. Was in a band called Bad Habit before that.
Look at that. My man is consummate musician.
Don't tell us we don't bring you education. There's no AI here.
My man's also a sharp-dressed man. Like, when you were talking about people rolling with crisp rolls on their pants.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, always crisp.
Yeah.
Always crisp, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So here's an interesting thing I wanted to talk to him about on the show. So I was watching something on YouTube about Japanese denim.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And like how Japanese jeans have like if you want that classic look and you want that crisp, dark denim sledge or salvage jeans, like they're the number one. But like the handmade ones go for like $2,000 a pair. Would you ever rock a pair of $2,000 Japanese jeans?
No. It took every bit of my will to click purchase when I bought my Shot Perfecto jacket. Because nothing about my being said, yeah, you should definitely spend $900 on a leather jacket.
Yeah, right. Right.
Buy once, cry once.
So
Basically,
he's been trying to push me to buy this
Tell him about it.
denim jacket.
Vintage.
It's a vintage.
Repop. Is it called a repop if they remade the vintage?
Yeah, I guess it's
called
repop.
a repop, right?
Yeah.
I guess, in clothing.
That
Lee
makes sense.
Jeans.
Write the show if you work for Louis Vuitton and you make repops, but continue, sir.
Lee Jeans just released their original 1930s cowboy jacket.
And how much is it going for?
Not much.
$350, $400.
It's Lee jeans.
Right.
Those are the jeans you get at Kmart for like $8.
Right.
The fuck are they doing charging that much for a jacket?
I don't know, but
they
hot.
trying to cash in on this champion bullshit?
Yeah, probably. Probably. I mean,
It's the
here's
vintage,
my thought,
bro.
It's sweet looking because it looks like to me it looks like a prison jacket. Yeah.
You know what's hot in Japan, like right now? You know the boot look and the worker look. I don't know what officially they call it. It's the worker look. The
rockabilly
overalls.
thing?
Well, it's past the rockabilly. Now it's on to overalls, over big denim jeans, and like they look like something out of a coal mine, but not. If that makes any sense. Yeah, it's a blue collar style, bro.
It's that SoCal Chicano thing.
That kind of thing too is getting out there too. Yes.
Yeah, they're hitting that up.
With the chinos and
Yep.
Yeah.
That one
Yeah.
is out there. Shout out
The
to our
lowriders.
shout out to our Disneyland listeners. Right? You know who you are, bro. Put the flask away, homie. Listen, I don't know how it shifted, but the power bomb shifted a little bit later because then Knott's was always Hood Rats. You were right. Actually, no, that's how that worked. Let's move on. But yes, you're right. That is also going over there too.
Okay.
That's a whole other subject though. What do you think about that? You think we'll be rolling into that soon? It's a good idea.
going back into the
We should all just switch to Chilano. Sock check.
I mean, listen. When it comes to summertime, I don't think I ever left that.
No,
Right.
doesn't like that.
Do you know how hard it is to find a pair of shorts in 2023, 24 that go below your knee?
Oof.
Oh, why are they all
they
short
make them?
shorts now?
Oh, shorty shorts are back in.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like literally the
shorts.
only shorts I own anymore are Dickies because they're the only ones that actually go
Yeah.
past.
There it
your knee.
is.
There you go.
There it is. The
So-
only place to go.
So I'm just de facto Chicano vibe over here.
Right. Right.
I got the Dickies. I might as well put the Vans on. Let's pull up the
Yep.
socks.
There
Got
you go.
the Vans on
Yep.
today with the high socks. Yep. We got sock check this morning by Tommy Skelly, so had to deal with that. Had to make sure the socks were up.
Right.
Dude, don't even get me started on that weird Viking guy. I don't know where that guy came from. That is wild. Did you see that guy on social recently, Johnny? It's apparently a redheaded guy covered in Viking tattoos that is 100% just for the Chilano culture.
Well,
And
I
he's
think
doing
I
great.
think he grew up in the neighborhood
Yeah, I think dude, the stuff he's saying, I'm like, oh.
because he can
You
go
didn't
from
learn
a
thi- you
perfect
didn't
white
learn this
accent
on-
to the perfect from the
Right.
neighborhood barrio accent,
Right.
and he knows the entire culture in and out.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
But it is funny that we're talking about that because everybody's been promoting him. Like in the culture, Mexican or not, they're promoting him. And they're talking about how like Chilanos don't care, bro. They just want you wearing high socks. They're like, put some Dickies on, bro. Get a flannel. Get a wife beater.
This has managed to escape my feed.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about this guy.
Listen, I don't have a feed. It's just called Joe Skelly.
Oh yeah. I'm the
Yeah.
one that brings all the information.
Yeah, I don't.
You gotta fix this feed.
No.
Well, see, listen.
Well-
and the reason these jeans are so expensive, I'm going to circle back, is because they use natural dyes. It's none of this, made in a laboratory blue dye.
I mean, we're just going to throw the jacket on the ground. So,
I'm not talking about the jacket. I'm talking about the pants.
oh, the pants were back.
Right.
Yeah, the pants.
Like
yeah.
they use the real natural dye, which takes forever, and they hand dye all the threads in bundles, and then they hand loom them and sew them and all this other crazy stuff. So I understand why they're asking so much money because of all the hands-on, not run through machine after
It's
machine.
like form fitted.
Well, I don't know about form fitting, but
Never
when you
leaves the
hand
one
loom the
person.
material to be sewn into jeans, like that takes forever.
Listen, I know who I am as a person and what happens to things that I own.
So you're like, fuck that. I'm not spending
I'm not spending $2,000 on a pair of jeans that's going to get a slab of ketchup on it 15 seconds after I purchase it.
That's a fair statement.
All right, so take us back to the jacket, though. Tell me about the jacket.
What is $2,000 Lee
No,
jacket?
yours. No, yours. Your nice jacket.
Your jacket, the one that
All right, so I mean, when we started Tightwind, Ramones tribute band.
Right?
The
Really good, by the way. You guys are pretty good.
Thank you.
hell of a show.
So Johnny Ramone was adamant with the rest of the band that we're wearing leather jackets. They got to be shot perfectos. And I'm kind of a Nazi for detail.
Right.
So I was like, if I'm going to do the leather jacket, I got to do the leather jacket right. God damn, are these things expensive?
Really? $9 for a leather coat. That's not bad.
I mean, now they're like I want to say those things are like $9.99 or something and up.
Right. Base models $9.
Yeah, I did the eBay purchase. I think I got mine used for between $5 and $6. But even
not
that,
bad.
I'm sitting there thinking, no, I know who I am. Something stupid's gonna happen to this jacket.
Right. And how's it been since you've had it?
Oh, so far it's fine, but that thing literally only comes out at
For the
showtime.
shows?
Right, listen, he keeps it in a hermetically sealed case at home. And it's like break glass in case of war, you know?
got to push a button so the closet moves and stuff.
You would think that. Right now it's piled up under a mountain of guitar cases. And
Which should be protected, so that's okay. All of that gear should be protected too, so it should be okay. Should be okay.
At least it's not balled up underneath a pile of clothes on the bedroom floor somewhere.
Right.
that's not there.
Yeah,
Well,
good.
I mean,
good.
it would be. I mean, let's be honest, guys. It's a punker jacket, so you could really throw it in an alley for like a week and it'd be fine, right?
Yeah,
We're
but
just
you'd be
not
hard-
speeding the life up like that, right? We're trying to make it last. Get that nice 40-year patina on it.
Maybe 40 years ago.
Maybe 40 years ago.
Unfortunately, that shot brand has like the sneakerhead culture on it now.
Oh, so some 17-year-old's gonna jack your old jacket.
So somebody will look at that logo and say, that is an expensive
Yeah,
jacket. Mine
that
now.
is ours.
Right, let's catch him in the alley, right?
Yeah.
While he's loading. Well, he doesn't have to carry his amps anymore, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, there's no more amps.
there is that.
It's a pedal and a guitar straight to the car.
So
How wild is that?
it's not like the old days where you needed a big raper van to load all your gear.
No,
Did we
dude,
say that on the radio?
I brought all of the band's gear to our last show in my freaking Kia Seltos.
Get out of here! Get out of here!
A drum set, two
So-
pedals, and two guitars.
So what do you guys do? Do you just direct line into the sound system that's there?
Yeah.
Really?
So our pedals will go straight to the PA, and then we just use the floor monitors for stage volume.
No crap.
Yep.
Wild.
Welcome to the new world.
Right.
I fought this for so long.
I'm
'cause-
still fighting it.
Because I mean, like we're using Helix, which is line 6,
Yeah.
and like, I mean, everybody that's done anything with music is familiar with the line 6 pod.
The very first.
And I laughed at that thing for so long. Those little line 6 spider amps. I'm like,
It was in there. I had one of them. I had at least the 50.
I mean, they're super cool for dicking around at home.
Right.
You couldn't
Especially
bring those
when
things
you're-
out live.
Yeah, especially when you're 14 and you can't afford pedals.
Right.
Back then.
Right.
Right.
Oh, all the pedals are built into my amp. Oh.
Yep.
You look at it now as an adult, you're like, every one of these channels is useless to me. It's just different white noise.
Right.
But
a little bit more static
I'm
and not
sitting here
enough.
moving fingers like people are saying what I'm doing.
All right. So how soon is it? They do these silent discos, right? How soon is it before shows are done
Oh,
via
the silent
headphones?
disco thing.
Metallica
Oh.
did it.
No.
Metallica did it. They did a show in Antarctica. And this was
it
probably
would
more
be-
than 10 years ago.
Get out of here.
They did a show in Antarctica.
They didn't want to disturb the wildlife.
Yeah, that's what it was because
I just guessed.
Well, they were at like they were at some sort of like science center or something for it, right? And the penguins and wildlife and stuff that were there, they have no real like they don't interact with humans, so they have no fear of them. So the penguins will just like walk right up to you, and they obviously they don't want to disturb the habitat there with Metallica performing.
So let's have Metallica perform at this.
So they did a
this
totally
wildlife
silent
habitat.
show, and basically the audience wore headphones.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's the future. Ready Player One. Everybody getting your metaverse
Listen,
in your chair with your full bodysuit. Right?
Listen, I saw an artist last year, towards the end of the year, and he was it was just a bar one guy guitar thing, but it was amazing because I noticed that he picked up and left and didn't take anything with him, and I was like, homie, you just had a full setup. Where did it go? But he packed something in his box, right?
Oh yeah,
and left. So they're modulating right out of the box. Look, they're mobile. Like you're just waiting. It was already a thing. I guess you could say earlier to 2005, 2010s. People were making records in hotels. The bigger artists have been doing it for a long time. The ones who could have that mobility, but now people seem to be making albums everywhere.
yeah. I mean, even like 25 years ago when I'm in middle school, high school, I remember when I got my family got our first computer, and it was like the coolest thing in the world. It's like, oh, we got a computer now. I can record my band.
Right.
And we're talking 2000, 2001. Like I had the state of the art Gateway computer with
Heck yeah.
with like 250 megs of storage space.
You could record a half a track.
I had that Cool Edit software, and I got my PA system. I was like, I'll use the PA as a mixer, and I was like, how do I get it into the computer? There's a microphone jack, 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch adapter, XLR adapter, one cord.
Yep.
It created one track, and
If you mess up, you got to do it all over again.
yep. I figured out how to mic the drum set with 4 microphones. Had to like it sounded like total turd,
Right.
but it was the coolest thing in the world to say, man, I just recorded my band, and now it's just what everybody's doing.
Right.
Like I couldn't imagine
they're
going to
recording
school
it
anymore for like audio engineering to
music,
like work
yeah.
in a studio.
Yeah, fuck going to Full Sail Academy.
I mean, it's useful knowledge, but then again, we're at a point where anybody can go on YouTube and
Right.
just learn how to do this stuff.
Yeah, I don't know if we've talked about that a lot. There are a lot of there's really high. We're talking guys with real records under their belt.
Yeah.
We're talking dudes who worked on the Beatles, worked on Leonard Skinner, that are giving out free information, and that is wild to me.
And look at the fact, like totally off genre, but Billie Eilish,
Yep.
she's what 15 or 16 when her first album came out. Her brother was like
Yeah, her
12
brother-
and produced it
Yeah.
in their bedroom.
No, her brother I think is the older
Oh,
one.
he's older.
He was already pro.
But yeah, they recorded it on a laptop in
and
her bedroom.
Yeah, and he did her record at
In an
home or
apartment.
something.
Wow.
Right.
Wow. Yeah, it's nothing like when I recorded my first album on
Right.
on a cassette,
Oh.
and we had 2 cassette. It was a dual cassette stereo that you could record on.
Oh yeah, yeah.
With
Oh yeah.
and it had mic jacks on both sides. So when you recorded and you tried to split, half the song came out of one speaker, and
Right,
the other
and
half
the
the
other
song
half
came
on
out of
the
the
other.
other speaker.
Old school mastering. Old school mastering. Even in like 2009, you could still take headphones off of like hardcore bands that were coming out, and you'd only hear half the song.
Yeah.
And you're like, homie, what are you doing with your mastering over here, guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bedroom recording.
Yep.
There you go, at its best.
Yeah.
Not like this podcast.
No.
Not like
This
you
is
you could hear
top-tier
it on both
AI.
speakers. Everything.
Is that true? Because like we used to check for that. We don't anymore. Has anybody checked for that? Write the show if you have 2 ears that work. Let us know how it goes.
Well,
How are things? I feel like we don't talk to our guests anymore. Our listeners.
Our
sorry,
listeners?
not our guests. Our guests we always talk to. Yeah, our guests are for the listeners. Listen, I think you're beating Tommy Skelly. I feel it like in my soul a little bit.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, so it works.
Bragging rights at this point.
Well, here's my...
I don't know if
Did
it's
you
true.
Johnny, did you pay him to say all this shit before you got here? Because I've never heard him fawn over a guest before.
May have been a little greasing of the palms.
Might be. I did. It could be a trick, though. I did see Tommy Skelly this morning. Maybe he paid me to say all this.
No.
I never know with you guys. I can't tell. I never know what's happening.
You know, you keep talking about him and all the people that write in, like, when's Tommy Skelly going to come back on the show? You're just pushing buttons right now. You know that, right?
I'm not going to say anything, but she's going to get a hold of you, not me. So, listen, man, that the band that you're running now sounds great. How do you like it? Like legit?
It's a blast. It kind of started as a joke.
Don't
It's
the
like-
best things always.
Yeah, I mean, it was the middle of COVID, during the lockdowns. I was bored at home because you couldn't go do anything. So I found one of those websites that sells like build your own kit guitars.
Went all the way with it.
Yeah, and one of the kits they had was the Johnny Mosrite.
Nice.
And it was like $150 or something. I was like, hey, here's something that'll keep me busy forever because
Right.
I'm not handy at all.
It'll get done at the age of slow.
Yeah. So I got the kit, and apparently I'm not as slow as I thought I was because I had the whole thing put together in less than a week.
COVID did magical things.
So I took a picture of it, threw it
You
on.
became an electrical engineer overnight.
I threw it online. I was like, hey, check out this thing I did. Because like before this, the handiest thing I ever did with a guitar was change my strings.
Right.
I just built one.
That's awesome.
And I had a buddy that's a drummer message me, and he was like, dude, that's awesome. We should start a Ramones tribute band. I was like, deal.
And that was it.
I put the band together and never heard from him again.
Oh, I like that.
So we took the drummer from my old cover band, who was not into punk rock or the Ramones at all. It just like I just messaged him one night. I was like, hey, if you want to, test your abilities, try to play this bullshit, the straight eighth note hi-hat stuff. And he dicked around with it for a week or two, and he was like, hey, that's cool. I was like, hey, you want to come over and jam? Because our drummer dropped off the face of the earth. And he was our drummer for 2 years. But it's fun. Not having to think about writing my own songs has been good because I just don't have the time to sit and do that anymore.
right.
And it's an established act. Like when we were talking about doing tribute band, like there's only so many you can do. I hate the idea of tribute acts of bands that still exist. Like,
Yeah, that is an interesting concept.
why would I want to go see a bunch of schlubs try to play Metallica songs? Like, there's
Right, when you can go
Metallica's
see
right
'em.
there. And like some of the tribute bands I've seen, like why is that even a tribute band? Like,
Right.
Like, oh hey, we're a Korn tribute band. Why? The world doesn't need Korn, let alone 5 idiots trying to pretend to be Korn. But we're like, like the Ramones are kind of a niche thing. You don't see too many Ramones tribute bands, and they've all been dead for 20 years at this point. So there's no chance of a Ramones reunion.
They're not coming back.
Jeepers creepers.
And a lot of people never got the chance to see the Ramones. I never got the chance to see them.
Right. Wait,
Um,
every single one of them is passed?
The original 4, yeah.
Yep. Joe Skelly, didn't he just play with Jerry only? Like,
Marky's not the original drummer. Tommy is.
Yeah.
oh,
Yes.
thank you. Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
There are 3 drummers and a bass player left.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
But the original 4 that recorded the first 3 albums are all dead.
Okay,
Yes.
that makes more sense because people have said that to me, and then I remember going to that show with Agent Orange and freaking the Misfits, and they're like, "Yeah, the Ramones drummer's going to be there," and I was like, I don't know my history, but I'm pretty sure I heard something that doesn't match with this. That makes more sense now. Okay.
Yeah. Now
That's
it makes
cool.
sense to you.
That's cool. Man, Joe Skelly, you could have told me that last week.
Oh, well. You
Why are
didn't
you always
ask.
keeping secrets? You know what it
didn't.
is? It's your guys' little punk circle. See, here it is again.
Ugh.
Just like the California punkers keeping secrets, running off to your G.G. Allen shows and doing I don't know what.
Now, I can look. That's a show I never went and saw.
What is that? I just name dropped that to see the eyes, and Johnny over here was like, "Oh," and Joe Skelly instantly was like, "No, was he not a real punker?"
So I have a funny Gigi story.
Yeah, there we
Here
go.
we
See,
go.
see,
I went to broadcasting school almost 20 years ago,
nice.
and the Ohio Center for Broadcasting thing.
Yeah.
And I had a radio show on their internet radio station. I convinced the program director once a week, let me do a punk show.
That's sweet.
I got in good enough that like I started pulling guests. We had the Horror Pops.
Nice.
We did a live show from the Agora when we did the interview with the Horror Pops. But my last show, it was actually like the day after I graduated, but like I wanted to finish out my week, and I had this, like I managed to get a hold of Joe Queer. The Queers were going to be in Cleveland. And this was the days of MySpace. Like I just shot him a MySpace message, right?
And he responded.
And I'm like, any band is going to look at this idiot and go, what? No.
Right.
I'm not even going to respond to that.
Right.
I shot him a MySpace message. I was like, listen, I do a punk show on a school internet radio station. You guys are going to be in Cleveland this day. I'd love to have you in on the studio. Here's my contact information. Let me know what you think. And the next morning, like 8 a.m., my phone rings. I'm asleep. I'm 20 years old, like I was up till 4 a.m. My phone rings. I'm like, what? Hey, this Twitch, this is my radio name. That's not clicking with me, right? Oh, yeah. Who's this? It's Joe King. Who the fuck is Joe King? Gave me his real name.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So he's like, Joe Queer. I was like, oh, okay. What's
Why
up?
are you calling
me?
me?
Why is Joe Queer calling me? As I'm waking
Starting to
up, I'm like,
catch
oh
up.
yeah, I messaged this guy. So like, he's like, yeah, we'll come down and do the show. That's awesome. And like, he proceeded to talk to me for an hour.
Nice.
And then like, this was like 2-3 weeks out of when they were going to be in Cleveland. He was calling me like once or twice a week just to shoot the shit.
right.
That's pretty cool.
And like, so we build up this rapport. He comes down to the studio with his band, and at the time, his bass player was Willie B, the guitar player from the Independents. So he and the Independents come into the studio. The last day is just my co-host and I are interviewing the Queers, and he got on the topic of Gigi. I think I was wearing a Gigi shirt, and he brought Gigi up because he's from New Hampshire.
Yeah.
The Queers are from New Hampshire. Turns out Joe Queer has known Gigi since they were like 12 years old.
Oh. Deep light.
Joe's actually a little older than Gigi, I think.
Okay.
He goes, you want a funny Gigi story? I was like, I always want a funny Gigi story. So he told me about a time he was driving around in his old beat up car, and he and his friends went around, and Gigi was like the dorky kid that just tagged along.
Nice.
Like nobody, like it wasn't that anybody hated him, but he was kind of like the little brother that everyone was annoyed was tagging along.
But they still let him tag along anyway.
But they still
right?
let him tag along. So he jumped in the car and he was all excited. He's like, oh, my band just recorded our first demo song. You got to hear it. And it was the Jabbers. And they had just recorded Cherry Love Affair. And he put it on, and it was Joe and one of his friends, who I don't think ever amounted to anything like famous wise. But he was like the cool guy in the scene. So Gigi put it on. He's all excited. Yeah, it's my band. I finally recorded a song. Isn't it great? And like 30 seconds into it, this guy took the tape out and chucked it back in the back seat. It's like, this fucking blows.
Wow.
And Gigi just sat in the back seat pouting like a dejected little toddler.
Oh, and
awesome.
thus spurned his career
Right.
into the degeneracy that it became.
Wow.
So there's potential that Joe Queer is the reason Gigi became what he was.
Good job, Joe Queer.
Nice job.
Good job, buddy. That is a whole bit of history. That is wild.
But you see, here's the thing: is like everybody, the world is a small fucking place, right?
Yeah.
Somehow everybody's tied to everybody somehow, or you know.
Do you know how much it blew my mind when because up until that moment, I would have never fathomed those two worlds would have crossed paths.
Yeah, never.
right.
And, like, because the Queers, the pop punk band, right? Like super bubblegummy, like singing songs about cute teenage girls. And oh yeah, when I was growing up, my best friend was Gigi Allen.
Right. And he goes off and does that.
Right.
And you're like
Two different ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Two different ends of the spectrum.
And then to find out that nobody around there liked him. He was just a dork that tagged along with everybody.
Oh man,
See?
it's looking every day better and better for us.
That's right.
We're winning.
We are winning.
Winning. Later on, we're going to tag along with anybody down the road.
But to be completely honest, and if anybody wears a Gigi Allen t-shirt or swears that they listen to Gigi Allen in any sort of non-ironic way, they are so full of shit or just
Gigi Allen's the best.
Just
Is
an
he really?
awful,
Right.
like lame human being.
That is the one shirt that I didn't see a lot of.
I have seen them out in the real world.
Yeah.
I have seen them randomly, and you're like, and when you see it, it's like saying Bigfoot, right?
Well, and then you see the person and you think to yourself, either it's an irony thing,
or they have no idea,
or that person looks like Merle Allen. And you're like, yeah, this checks out.
Right.
Yeah, I never see him up here.
And I can smell you, and I am across the street in a restaurant.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you never, dude, I never see him up here. Like, I don't remember the last time I saw one in the street.
I have
to be
seen
honest,
one up here.
since coming up.
And it's
Really?
probably the one that's on our buddy's vest, isn't it?
No. Actually, it wasn't. It was somebody else was actually wearing one, and all I could think was, you found that in a thrift store somewhere and have no idea who that really is,
Right.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't be fucking wearing that thing.
So
I bought this Gigi shirt, and it smells like poop. I can't get the poop smell out.
it's an original.
oh my
Got it at the concert.
So I was about to say, other than those horrible things you hear about the show, is there any other reason that he's famous?
Absolutely not.
No.
Oh. And the other thing.
Oh, okay.
Gigi
that's
Allen is
something.
not a respected person in the punk rock scene whatsoever.
Yeah,
He did so much damage to that scene. Like there's can you name one record label that any Gigi Allen album was ever released on?
I can't name.
No.
Dude, pass the
Can
t-shirts.
you
and
name
these-
a band that ever toured with Gigi Allen?
No.
Oh,
There's a
Not off
reason.
the- there's a
Oh.
reason. Yeah.
Wow.
I can't think of one.
Can you name one of their songs, Joe Skelly?
Yes, but I'm not going to repeat the name.
Oh, is that bad?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's like that.
Oh, yeah.
I really
a
got
Gigi song?
Yeah, I've never heard one.
So here's the thing. The Jabbers.
I've never heard one.
The Jabbers
Yeah.
were a really good band. But that was before Gigi got weird.
Right.
Like he was just misogynistic.
Oh,
And then when he wasn't with them, that's when all the craziness.
And here's the other thing. If you hear early Gigi Allen through the Jabbers, he sang. He actually had a really good singing voice. But if you hear, have you ever heard a Gigi Allen song?
not once in my life. After hearing about the show, I was like, nah, I'm good, dog.
So the Gigi I heard initially was just nonsense noise and him growling into a microphone with song titles like I kill everything I fuck.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
But
Logical.
then we're sitting in a certain buddy's house up in his attic bedroom, and hey, you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
and he's going off on one of his tirades of, "Ooh, I have friends here. Let me show you everything that I know." And he put on a Jabbers album. I'm like, "What the fuck is this?" He's like, "Oh, it's Gigi." I'm like, "What?"
Why?
It almost sounded like power pop.
Wow.
Like it was really good 70s power poppy punk rock.
And you're like, where did you find this?
It sounded like it was recorded with a potato.
Oh,
But that was the budget those guys had then.
right.
But, yeah, like somewhere along the line, he just became this.
There's nothing in the budget for what it became, though.
No.
There's nothing. Just so we're very clear, the show, its supporters, listeners do not support these kinds of shows.
Right. Yeah, no. It just became you went to the show to see the most bizarre shit and terrible.
Metaphorically and
Yeah.
physically.
You went to a Gigi show because you couldn't find a donkey show.
Perfect. Ladies and gentlemen,
that puts the cap on this. That puts
I'm
the
gonna
cap
have
on
to,
all of it.
You know, I'm gonna have to listen to this episode just to relearn what because right now my brain's like trying to register it all because I've got 30 years of random, and I'm trying to pinpoint every dude that ever walked up with a shirt on now.
Right.
Because I'm like, homie, they said it's true.
Yeah.
The adults I know, they confirmed it. This isn't 13-year-old us talking about, we think we heard this from our older friends.
Right.
This really is happening.
Yeah.
Y'all are messed up. Why you got that shirt on?
Yeah.
This is
Pretty much.
So should I tell our listeners, like, should they 5-song test a Gigi Allen shirtwear when they see him? Go up to him and just be like, how would we know if they're fake? Oh, that's a good one. How do we get them to admit that they've never listened to the song or been to the show?
You don't need to ask them a single question.
Oh.
Can you smell them from across the room?
Oh. There it is.
There it is.
There
if you
it
can
is.
smell them from across the room.
Ladies and gentlemen, there it is. If you can smell them from across the room, you will know.
You will know that they listen to Gigi Allen. The real Gigi Allen, right?
The real.
Right.
The real.
Yeah, the real.
Listen, give them tell them what the band name is because we're about to run out of time. Give them the band name again that you were in so they can go look you guys up. Where are you guys posted?
We're up on Facebook. If you look up Tightwind, it's one word. I think that page has links to like the Instagram and
All the stuff.
and YouTube page. Yeah.
You guys keeping it current?
As current as possible. We're kind of laying low right now because we are down a drummer.
Again?
Yeah. Well, the drummer
guys
that played
getting
with
rid
us
of
for
him?
like the last 2 years.
Is this a jinx job?
I mean, we may secretly be Spinal Tap.
Oh.
He may have exploded at our last show.
Oh.
No, it's
That was a good show.
this wasn't his wheelhouse to begin with.
Right.
And
Well, in that case, if you're a drummer, write the show.
yeah, sure.
Tightwind might be in the market for a new drummer.
Yeah, listen. Stranger Things, right?
Hey,
The Gigi Allen guy that doesn't smell. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show where we give you everything you don't want. Thanks for coming out and speaking to us, Johnny, and educating us on the smells of punk rock. Later, we're going to discuss how Joe Skelly let vegans exist.
No, that's
We'll get into that later, though, ladies and gentlemen, and we hope all of you who requested the guests from Joe Skelly are satisfied. 30,
trying to
97
start some
seconds.
shit.
You're in so much trouble.
Somebody let me out of this basement!